Yo, what is going on, guys? It's your boy TG back here with another video today. And today, guys, I'm going to be going over my predictions for the 2025 NFL playoffs, all the way up till the Super Bowl, giving my Super Bowl pick and matchup and prediction. If you guys do enjoy the video, I appreciate you guys' support as always. Do me a favor, like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on post notifications. A little bit different of a video today because we're talking real life NFL instead of just Madden. So if you're new to the channel, I need you to do me a favor, subscribe. I can do more of these videos. I don't mind. I love the NFL. Love talking about it. And without further ado, let's hop right into it. So, first matchup is going to be coming on Saturday, January 11th at 4:30 p.m. We got the Chargers versus the Texans in what should be a very exciting game. You got the Chargers, who are really on a hot streak right now between Justin Herbert. They got J.K. Dobbins back. Ladd McConkey has really excelled as the number one receiver. And then their defense always is stout with the pass rush of both Khalil Mack and also Joey Bosa. Going against the Texans team, which has been down in the last couple of weeks, but C.J. Stroud and the boys right there, you got Nico Collins back healthy. Joe Mixon is absolutely incredible. I know everybody's ringing off the Texans, and I kind of get it, but I think they're going to play this game close. But I think ultimately a Jim Harbaugh-led team will prevail in this game. I think the Chargers will win a close one right here, so I have them moving on even after going on the road and traveling to Houston. The next game that night will be a classic Steelers versus Ravens matchup, what should be another thrilling chapter in that rivalry. Now, I am a Steelers fan. I'm going to try to be as unbiased as possible and completely take my bias out of this at all. Steelers versus Ravens. What's going to happen here? In my opinion, I think the Ravens are much more talented. However, they did lose Zay Flowers, a key piece to that passing concept. Now, I don't know if he's technically ruled out or not. I can't imagine he's going to be 100% because he has like a knee sprain or something like that. I'd imagine he's not going to play in the first place, but you still got guys like Rashad Bateman, who's really stepped up this year, and then also Mark Andrews and Isaiah Likely, and then other kind of pieces that fit around that. Of course, you got Derrick Henry, you got to stop, and that defense is absolutely very talented. However, Steelers do have Lamar's number. I forgot to even mention Lamar Jackson on offense. I mean, how can you not? The Steelers, they have Lamar's number, though. So does that prevail right here on the road in the playoffs? I don't think so. I'm going to be smart here. I'm going to take the Ravens as much as I want to pick the Steelers and think that they have a fighter's chance. I do think they have a fighter's chance, but I don't think they're going to win this. I think it's going to be a lot closer than people also expect, though. I don't expect this to be a blowout one bit. I believe the line is super, super heavy favoring the Ravens. I would take the Steelers on that because I think the Steelers, they just play the Ravens close. I know the last time they played in Baltimore, it wasn't. It was the first time really in the last 5-6 years that this matchup has been blown open. But if you guys watched the game, it was a lot closer, meaning that there was a turnover at the goal line for the Steelers and a pick six. So give me the Ravens here to edge them out slightly. Following that, we got the Broncos versus Bills and what should be an interesting game. Now, I personally think the Bills are going to handle business here. Obviously, coming off a week's rest, all those players did not play. The only thing that might stop them is maybe they're a little bit rusty in the beginning. Maybe they take a quarter to get into it. Josh Allen settle down and get into the playoffs. But you're playing in Buffalo in front of your home fans against a team with a young rookie quarterback, even with a great head coach in Sean Payton. I don't think it's enough to beat the Buffalo Bills. I got the Bills win this game, and I think it's going to be honestly pretty okay margin, 10 to 14 point victory right here. I think the Broncos had a fantastic year, but just not on the same level as Josh Allen, who makes incredible plays, and that defense has stepped up certain pieces that you didn't think were going to step up. They played absolutely great this year. So give me the Bills right here, winning this kind of handily. And then following that at 4:30, we got the Packers versus the Eagles. Now, this is a strange game because we don't know if Jalen Hurts is going to play. Jalen Hurts, obviously in concussion protocol. We'd imagine he's going to go, but he hasn't practiced in, I believe, what is 16 days at the time of this recording. So I don't know. That doesn't bode well against a Packers team, which did just lose to the Bears and are coming off a bad loss there. But it's still the Packers, and Jordan Love played absolutely out of his mind last year in the wild card round against Dallas. Listen, I'm going to play cautious here. I think the Eagles are going to win this game if Jalen Hurts plays. If they don't, I think it's much closer. I still think the Eagles are talented enough that they can maybe skate by with a Kenny Pickett. If a guy like Saquon Barkley has a big game on the ground. It's played in Philly too. I think they'll be fine even without Jalen Hurts. I think it's going to be a much tougher game without Jalen Hurts, but we're assuming he's going to go, and I think they'll be okay. So I take the Eagles here. Still very close, 3 to 7 points. It's going to be a one-score game right there. Sunday night, we got the Commanders versus the Buccaneers. Yeah, interesting game. Interesting game. Got a young guy in Jane Daniels, in which I would argue that Washington team is much more talented than Tampa Bay, but Baker Mayfield just willed that team to victory week after week. He did it on the ground last week, which is incredible. I believe he had like 68, 70 rushing yards in the ground, which you never see out of Baker. And then Mike Evans is just balling right now. He's on a roll. Of course, in that 1K season, that's kind of what everybody talked about. However, the defense scares me for the Buccaneers a little bit. They play a lot of soft coverage, and Jaden Daniels, a rookie, he excels playing against that type of defense. So I'm gonna take the Commanders here to win this game. I feel like this is I'd imagine they're the favorites even going into Tampa, but Tampa can score a lot of points. So they didn't look particularly great too against the Saints last week. Granted, the Saints and them play every single year twice, so it's kind of like that Steelers Ravens type thing where they play a lot closer than it needs to be. But I'll take the Commanders here. I like Jaden Daniels. I like the young guy right here. I think he gets a win right here. So give me Jaden Daniels. Then finally Monday night we got the Vikings versus the Rams in what should be another fun game right here. Sam Darnold did not look his best last week on Sunday Night Football against the Lions, even against a depleted offense. Then you got the Rams right here, or excuse me, depleted defense. Then you got the Rams right here who, honestly, the Rams are kind of just happy to be in this position to win the NFC West. It kind of was just a cluster this year, and they were the ones to get out of it. So what do I think happens here? I think people are going to write off the Rams too quick, and I think the Rams are actually going to win this game. I trust Matthew Stafford in a game like this at home. Listen, this team made it to the Super Bowl 3 years ago, and there's still a lot of those pieces. I mean, obviously you don't have Aaron Donald, Von Miller, Odell Beckham Jr., who played a massive role in that year, but you still got a lot of those same pieces carrying over. I think the offensive line's played better the last couple of weeks as well. So I like the Rams here to win this game very, very close, and I think they stun the Vikings right here, even after the great success they had. And you got to realize the Vikings, their only other loss besides Detroit, what's the Rams? So I think it's tough to beat a team twice in the same year, but I think the Rams will prevail in this one very, very close. I got to pick an upset somewhere here. I think this is the one that may most likely happen. So moving into the next round, we'll get the number 1 seed, which will be the Kansas City Chiefs against the Los Angeles Chargers. In what would be another divisional showdown right here, the Chargers losing 2 games to the Chiefs this year, not able to get their number. The Chiefs, very, very interesting team. They rested. They're going to be really 3 weeks of rest here going into this game between, or 3.5 weeks. I mean, their stars really wouldn't have played until Christmas Day. So you got a lot of break here right here. I don't think that's going to affect Mahomes and Kelsey and company. I think, they're fine. I think they've been around the block a few times. I think they'll be okay. But this Charger team is a gritty team and led by Jim Harbaugh, who is an exceptional coach. So I'm not going to pick against the Chiefs, especially round 1 coming off a bye. Andy Reid is exceptional coming off a bye, whether it's regular season or in the postseason. So I'll take the Chiefs here to win this in a close, gritty game in which I think maybe a last-second field goal at Butker makes them prevail. So give me the Chiefs right here. Then we got the Ravens versus the Bills, and oh my God, this will be an incredible game. Because listen, the MVP isn't going to be announced till then. I know all the votes are in, so it's not going to affect anything. But you got the top 2 guys right here, Lamar and Josh Allen. Now, realistically, I think Lamar Jackson deserves the MVP. Is he not going to get it? I don't think he will. I would vote for Josh Allen because he's never won one. I think that does factor into voters' minds. But if you're just talking statistically and what you see on the field, Lamar Jackson is the best quarterback. Actually, I take that back. I'd vote for Lamar Jackson for MVP because he's been the best player in football this year. I'm sorry, Josh Allen. I think he's been the best player in football. But Josh Allen has been really good as well. So you got a great matchup right here. This would be played in Buffalo. But I'm going to take the Ravens here to win this game in a close one. I think the Ravens are a team of destiny this year. I think they're going to rematch against the Chiefs once again in an AFC Championship game in which we played in Arrowhead now. So give me the Ravens in a very, very good game right here. This might be the game of the week because I don't think either team's going to pull away at any point. I think both these teams are really, really good. And I think it's going to come down to the last second. So give me the Ravens to win that game. And then on the NFC side, we're going to have ourselves the Commanders versus the Lions in round number 1. Round number 2 to kick off the divisional weekend. Man, I mean, Lions are good, but they're depleted. But they get rest. I think the Lions win. I'm not going to overthink it. I'm not going to try to, say, hey, listen, to me, this feels like a C.J. Stroud type year from last year out of Jaden Daniels. Played really, really well. He'll get a wild card win, and then just in the divisional, you're playing a superior team. You probably lose it. And I think people are going to remember Jaden Daniels as one of the best rookie seasons of all time. And then this Lions team, I think, is also sort of a team of destiny. I think their coach wills them to win every single week. You might even get David Montgomery back, which would be a big deal. So give me the Lions here. Honestly, I'd take them by like 10 here, coming off rest. We just saw what they did to the Vikings in a must-win game, and they absolutely trounced them. So give me the Lions right here, win this game pretty handily. Then we got ourselves the Rams versus the Eagles in the other slot. If the Eagles make it to this point, you got to imagine Jalen Hurts is going to be back, so I don't think there's any reason why the Rams would beat them. I think the Eagles are just better pretty much at every single aspect, maybe besides the wide receiver core, but the Eagles secondary has been really, really good this year between the rookies of Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean. You also got Reed Blankenship back there and also C.J. Gardner-Johnson. So I will take the Eagles here, setting up kind of vanilla. I believe this would be both 1 and 2 seeds out of both sides. I think this is the most likely scenario, so I'm going to predict it. Looking at the AFC, we have the Chiefs versus the Ravens. Now, what's going to happen here? I think the Chiefs are not as good as the Ravens, but for some reason, Mahomes, and I guess because he's the best quarterback in the NFL, he wins these games. I think it happens again. I can't pick against the Chiefs right now. Like, coming out of the AFC, I don't trust an AFC team to beat the Chiefs. Now, I think there's better teams on the NFC side who are better coached. I think Harbaugh's an exceptional coach, but there's something blocking here from them beating the Chiefs. And I think it continues again. I think it's going to be a fantastic game. But I think the Chiefs are just a better team. For some reason, they may not have the names, but they all step up and they play well when they need to. So give me the Chiefs here, make it to the Super Bowl out of the AFC. Then looking on the NFC side, we're going to have ourselves the Lions versus the Eagles. Now, Lions should have been in the Super Bowl last year. They absolutely crapped the bed. Of course, in that second half against San Francisco. I love the Lions. I think this Eagles team's better, though. I think the Eagles are very, very good. I think if Jalen Hurts is here at this point, I would trust him more than I trust Jared Goff. I trust that offense, a guy like Saquon, more than a guy like Jahmyr Gibbs. So give me the Eagles here. I'm sorry, Lions. I love you, Lions. I'm rooting for the Lions to win the Super Bowl next to the Steelers, of course, which is unrealistic. But, I mean, realistically, this Eagles team is so stacked. This might be the best Philly team they've had in a long time, and they won a Super Bowl in, 2018? Give me the Eagles going to the AFC, playing as the AFC champions, Kansas City Chiefs, in the Super Bowl. So we got a rematch from 2 years ago. Sirianni, Reed, Mahomes, Hurts, different running backs. Man. Chiefs versus the Eagles. Now listen, I think the Eagles are the best roster in the NFL, top to bottom, stacked. I would have said Detroit going in this year, but Detroit is so injury riddled. That matters. Trust me. I don't think it holds up in the playoffs. I think the Eagles are the best roster right now in the playoffs, assuming Jalen Hurts is healthy. Something about Mahomes looking for the first time to ever do it. Three-peat. I think it doesn't happen. I think the Eagles win the Super Bowl. Listen, this might be crazy. I think the Eagles win the Super Bowl. I do. The Eagles are the best roster on paper, I think, in the NFL right now. I think their coach, if he doesn't do something dumb, and I love Sirianni. I'm a Sirianni guy. I'm rooting for the guy. If he can just stay out of his way, not make a bonehead decision here and there. I know it's really tough for people to pick the Eagles, but I just think they're the best roster. So that is my Super Bowl champion. I think the Eagles defeat the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. It's going to be a fantastic game. I cannot wait if that happens. A rematch from 2 years ago, and it was one of probably the best Super Bowls in recent memory. So give me the Eagles over the Chiefs, getting their revenge. Give me Philly, getting their second Super Bowl. If you guys did enjoy the video, let me know your predictions down below. Let me know who you think is actually going to win the Super Bowl. I appreciate you guys watching. As always, do me a favor, like, subscribe, comment down below, turn on post notifications. Appreciate you guys as always, and I am NTG. Peace out.